Hello folks, how to prepare from September. I'm going to break this into two parts. One is for people who started preparing a while ago and what should they do in the last 2.5-3 months from September 1 to say November 28. For them it's going to be predominantly woven around revision and mocks. And so get comfortable, more comfortable with the topic that you already know, reinforce your strengths, do a lot of mocks and analyze the mocks to fill the gaps. So if the mock is telling you that pipes and cisterns, you were not on top of the idea, then come back and revisit that. The more topics you can revisit, the better you will get. Just to give you a parallel about how this revision idea works, I had one of our students tell us this very clearly. I finish one topic, say speed, time, distance, and then I take a mock. Every question in speed, time, distance, I'm just firing away. The ideas are not just, you're not just comfortable with them, but they've amped up right to the kind of top of your brain. It is super important. You need to digest ideas, amp them up, take them to a point where they're fresh. And that happens by continuous revision. So spend time on mocks, but whatever gaps the mocks are telling you, go back and fill them. And now is the time to write down a special book for a beautiful formulae, for a nice shortcut that you have cracked, for something to say, if I have triangles like this, I need to think about similar triangles. Any puzzle with Venn diagram, I need to remember that A only and A are two different things. So that kind of stuff, you need to put cues in your mind, write down somewhere, reinforce so that the ideas come straight to the top. I've had several instances where I've worked on an error and it doesn't happen to me at all for like 2 years, and then I do a question and the same error comes back. I suddenly cancel two things without accounting for the fact that both can be zero. And so you have to be careful to weed those out, to take ideas to the top of your head. So from now on, if you've already been preparing for a while, then the two things that are most important are mocks and revision. Revision not just to consolidate ideas, but to make them fresh in your head, to jot down things and to think about relative speed, to say you love Venn diagrams. Just that kind of cues for selecting questions and for eliminating the wrong one and making sure you don't make mistakes. That is the part that we need to focus on. For those who are starting now, September 1, and having a crack at this exam, is there enough time? Probably yes. If you have basic comfort with numbers, basic reading ability, you can have a crack at this exam. And there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees for anybody. There's a short enough time frame. You should do mocks, no doubt about it. But it's probably time to pick and choose your battle. You say, look, I'm very comfortable with these kind of passages. I'm never going to touch anything from philosophy. I'm very comfortable with data-intensive passages, but if it has too many constraints, I will simply not touch them. I cannot cover the ground on number theory, geometry, algebra, permutation probability, and arithmetic. I'll pick arithmetic, I'll pick geometry, that's it. I'm not going to bother with the rest. I know that I have a route to 93, 94 in quant, maybe 90, 91 in LRDI, and a 92 in verbal. I'll hope this falls in place. That takes me to a 97. That opens plenty of doors. So you probably have to think and say, I'm going to get this baseline done, which is basically arithmetic. A round of what are the different types of questions are there in BRC, reading for an hour a day, and maybe 1 or 2 puzzles every day. You do that for a month, you're there. You can technically give CAT a chance, a crack, and give yourself a good chance. So now you should say, look, I'm not looking for completeness. I'm looking to make sure that I have the basis covered and I can give myself a chance. If you're super comfortable with math, you already have a reading habit, and you can actually, you're the person who can just waltz through this exam and get 98 on a given day, then you should amp it up and cover all bases and go for the stars. But for most general candidates, that's not the case. Say basic numeracy, some reading habit, but only 3 months to have a crack. Then pick and choose your battles from day one. Arithmetic needs to be in the bag. Reading habit has to be there. Everything else, you can pick and choose and have a crack at it. So if you've been preparing for a long time, revise and hit mocks super aggressively. If you're starting now, mocks are super important. Second thing to keep in mind is to get a baseline of topics and ideas done and not look to complete the entire syllabus. Best wishes for Ken. Please do subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon so that you get all the notifications. We have a ton of content lined up from now till CAT and beyond. And generally from our channel, it is useful. Definitely subscribe and click on the bell icon. Super.